Okay, folks, this is the fourth part of this thing here. This is GWT, West Truther, Wonder Man. I'm going to give you something to wonder about. I ended the third video talking about how come the people are restricted from travel to, onto, or beyond the outer encircling ice wall that is known to us, or taught us, to be the South Pole. And the North Pole, the same thing. How come they're off limits? That's 25% of the area of the Earth that we know of inside of the ice wall is off limits to people. They'll kill you to keep you away from it. Now, if you want to know how to get to the edge of the Earth, I know a way to do it. And I believe it's as good a way as any. Only as a bullet or an arrow flies, one must travel in a straight line in any direction you want to pick. Any minute or second on a clock, you go in that direction in a straight line. You listen to me. You laugh if you want to, but you're not going to be able to out-psych this. You go in a straight line without any reference to the positioning of the sun, the moon, or stars, without compass, to get to where the force field meets with the taller ice mountains that is the outer rim of the Earth's surface. I'll repeat this. Sorry about that thing right there, folks. I'm going to tell you something. Y'all don't know how I live. You don't know things that I have. Like I said, my mom put up with a lot of stuff. She had a hard life. And if she would feel sad for me if she knew some of the things I had experienced in my life. Without any reference to the sun, to the moon, to stars, and without any compass, to get to where the force field, now just stick with me for a minute, get to where the force field of the dome comes down and the Earth's surface meets it with the high frozen areas at the surface where the dome, where the force field comes down to where the surface of the Earth meets the force field. This area is going to be high to retain the water inside. Now, if you want to know how to get to the edge of the Earth, wherever it might be, in any direction you want to go, you don't use any instruments or nothing. You fly the same way as a bullet or an arrow in a friggin' straight line. And when you leave, let me give you an illustration. When you leave your home and you go in one direction and you walk around all four sides of a city block, when you get back to your home, you come to your home from the opposite. You come to your home from the opposite direction from which you started. But you started one direction. Let's choose west. You started one direction, west, and when you arrived, you were again traveling west. I'm sorry about that beacon. Now deal with me on this right here. When you leave your home, you traveled west. I chose west. When you returned to your home, you were traveling west again. Took you west, then it took you north, then it took you east, then it took you south, then finally you're traveling west again to complete a circle. You walked around a block? Bear with me. To circumnavigate a round Earth in a direct line, your compass will have to stay on one side of you all the way. Your compass pointing to north or south or east or west will have to stay on you on one side of you. One side of you all the way. Never behind you, never in front of you, on the same side of you all the way. There will be no heading of north, east, south, and west. It won't happen. To circumnavigate, one must leave north and go south in a direct straight line until the Earth's boundary is met. You've got to go south, and it don't matter where you're at on the Earth. You are going to have north at your back when you get to the edge of the Earth. To circumnavigate, one must follow the direction down and back again to the upper Earth's surface again on the opposite side of a flat Earth. You've got to go to the edge of the flat Earth. You've got to go down underneath or whatever thickness it is down here. And you've got to go over here and you've got to come back up again. And when you come back to where you started, you'll be traveling the same direction as when you left. Traveling the same direction to come back to where you started. When people say they go out and circumnavigate the Earth, let me tell you what they're doing. They're not doing anything but making a circle around the North Pole, because their compass is going to keep pointing north and keep pointing north. They're going to keep north on one side of them, and they're going to end up making a circle around the North Pole and coming back home. And the majority of the time, when they leave right here, they're going to come right back in the same way they left. Not from behind where they started. They're going to come back facing themselves. When they left, they were facing this way, and when they returned, they're facing the direction that their face was showing. Folks, y'all need to understand. If you can't understand that, just think about it. That's all I'm saying. Travel, when you do that, the travel takes you west, then north, then east, then south, and then finally you're traveling west again to complete a circle. And like I said, to circumnavigate around Earth in a direct line, that your compass north will stay on one side of you all the way, which means you're not doing anything but where the North Pole is. You keep the North Pole on the right hand side of you traveling over here. North pole's on your right. For you to circumnavigate, you're going to circle around that North Pole. You're going to circle around the North Pole just like that and come back home, and you're going to call that circumnavigating the Earth. But you're on a flat Earth. All you did was go out and spin around in a circle. And y'all can't do nothing with that, folks. The only way you can circumnavigate a flat Earth, like I said, is just like a plate. You got to go to the edge, go down underneath or whatever the heck might be under here, and come up the other side to the edge. So that, I don't think that can be done either, because the force field is a containment system of the Earth and all of the environment in here with us. All the lights upstairs, all the electrical stuff, everything. Underneath, everything. When you get to the surface again, you will have north as your direction to get home. That is an important thing. If you want to circumnavigate a flat Earth, when you go in one direction south, when you go south, when you go down underneath and around down underneath, and you come up over here to the surface again where the dome is, in order for you to go anywhere, you've got to go north. Just think about it, folks. North will be your direction home. You head south to leave, and you'll be heading north to get home, to circumnavigate a flat Earth. Circumnavigation, as known to most, is just merely circling the north magnetic pole, which the compass will stay due north the whole trip. Just a circle trip on a flat Earth. That's what it is. So you people who say you fly and you circumnavigate the Earth, you don't understand what you're saying. You've been taught so much bull, your brain's scrambled. As the equator lies halfway north and south, making a circle about the center way of our inner continents and oceans between the north and the encircling Antarctica ice barrier, that both is called the South Pole. But is it the South Pole. So what I'm telling you is the equator, here's the Earth. The equator is a circle in the middle of the Earth, which is halfway between the center North Magnetic Pole and the southern ice wall, which we call the South Pole. But is it? Is that really the most negative part of the Earth? All the instruments and the planes and all that stuff down there seem to work just fine. But now, if the outer edge, where the force field, the magnetic force field, touches the Earth's surface, where they come together on the outer edge, that could be a negative field. Just saying. Anyway, the Antarctic ice barrier is, like I said, it's both the South Pole and a barrier. But is it? Or is the true South Pole actually another rim of ice and mountains that is the edge of the rest of the Earth over against the encircling force field? That could be a whole big another long distance between the North Pole and what we call the South Pole, and from the South Pole to the outer rim where the force field comes down and meets the Earth, or where the Earth inside the force field is filled to a level of. Full spectrum dominance. This is another United States, United Nations with NATO has completed their program, and the program is titled Full Spectrum Dominance. This is for the air, for the water, for land. This is bio, this is electromagnetic frequencies, to your minds and your ability to naturally sense and know that you're controlled along with everything around you. You don't even know that you're being mentally controlled. You think you're normal and natural, and I mean, I may have a good point here and a good point, or a bad point here and a bad point, but that is life. People are not perfect. Everybody doesn't know everything about everything. And I'm a generalist. I know a little about a lot of things. And if I could sit down and relax, I could probably really remember and think about some things that otherwise I'm not going to ever think about again, probably. I can't relax. Y'all don't know how nervous of a person I am. If you realize that you're controlled and everything around you, if you realize, then you learn enough, you're at a point that you can make a decision whether you can try to resist. And if you try to resist, they're going to know, and then you're going to become a target for destruction or elimination. And that's why my channel doesn't get any views. Because the material and the things that I talk about in my channel, I'm going to tell you right now, should be freaking people out. And ain't nobody paying any attention to anything. Really bothers me. I can't reach anybody. And the few of y'all that share my videos, I appreciate it, but they're not, you're like me, you might not know any people, or nobody wants to pay attention to anything you have to say either. That's a shame. I really like my landlord, he's a real nice guy. But when he looked at me the other day and said he didn't believe anything, he said, he didn't say I didn't believe, I can't believe, or I have a hard time believing. He said, I don't believe anything you said. Yikes. That is, the light is really going to bother his eyes. GWT, folks.
That's not fucking funny! That's not funny!